So my name is Clara Calavia Sarnago. I have two last names. I was born and raised in Spain. I was born in a very small town in the northeast of Spain called Soria. It's like 40,000 people. All those people could fit in like the stadium in my university, which is like crazy. So it's certainly small. I was born there, and then up to the when I was 12, then I moved to the United States. My dad was an English teacher, and with the government, with the U.S. government, with the education department, there's like a visa program where teachers from Europe can go to the United States to teach Spanish. So that's what we did. We were only supposed to be here for 3 years, so we came on a 3-year visa. And that was my dad and my mom, my younger brother, and I. And after 3 years, when we moved to Miami, Florida, we loved it so much that we decided to try to kind of expand the visa. You can kind of request for them to add more time. And this is our almost 9th year. We just became permanent residents, which is amazing because now we don't have to deal with as much as like all the paperwork and all the visa and stuff like that. But also, I'm in my 2nd year at the University of Florida. I am an honors student, double majoring in international studies with an emphasis in Europe and economics. So it's kind of like my first year on campus with the whole like COVID thing. So I'm super excited. I would love to go to law school one day. We'll see how that goes, but right now that's the plan. And I would love to become an immigration lawyer in the future. So that's a little bit about myself.
I just have friends who are from in other countries, and I know that student visas are just an extremely hectic process and just so many requirements and stringencies that must be adhered to. So now that you're a permanent resident, I can imagine that being a student in America is just so much easier.
I know now I can like apply for FAFSA. I can apply to a lot of the different scholarships because like just being an international student with like the visa, you really can't get a lot of financial aid. So that does, suck a little bit. But now that I am a permanent resident, I have more like consistent papers because now I can stay here for like 10, 20 years. I do get a lot of help, which is nice.
How would you say just life compares just living in not just two different countries, but in just two different continents?
Yeah, I think especially coming from a very small town in Spain, it's completely different. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I moved to Miami, which is like so many people know, like a huge city. So going from a small, like very rural city to a very big urban city is very different. I always say that I love the United States, but I love the lifestyle that I used to have in Spain just because it's much more like relaxed. You can like walk anywhere, you go get the bread. Everybody knows each other because it's such a small town. So I think that kind of that can also have an impact on you and your mental health and stuff like that just because it's very relaxed. Here in the United States, especially in Miami, it's much more like go go go. So it's definitely different, but I love both places. So yeah.
I can really imagine how just living in that small knit community can just be so refreshing and just it honestly sounds amazing too.
Yeah, I always go there for the summer, so it's good to get at least like 2 months or 3 months of like just relax, turn off your phone a little bit, and just take a deep breath. Yeah.
Since you have lived in another country, Spain in particular, you definitely have some experiences that are unique to that country, and you also have services that are unique to that country. What's one thing that you would say really is just at the forefront of your mind that, say, the American system, United States can do differently that's done in Spain?
Something silly that when I was going back this year that like kind of like threw me back, but like not in like a weird way, is like, for example, in Spain, like people don't tip, which might sound silly. It might sound silly to like an American, but like in Europe, like people don't tip. So that's always been like weird to me coming into this country. Like the fact that like I have to tip and I'm more than happy to, but that's just like that's not the culture that we have over there. Or even like taxes here are not included. So like if something is like $6, it's always like six something. In Spain, it's always like if it's six, it's six. So those little things that always like kind of shock as far as culture and stuff like that. Also, like school is very different. So for example, like, and I'm sure you know Garret as well, law school, it's usually 4 years undergraduate and then you go to law school. In Spain, you kind of go to law school like straight away. So that's kind of like not hard, but like different when I go to Spain and I tell people like, oh, I'm an economics major, but then I'm going to law school. They're like, why would you do that? And I'm like, oh, but that's just like the way the system is. So those are like different things that just people are not used to in like other countries and stuff like that.